If you give the body the right amount of nutrition and the right amount of exercise, not too much and not too little, we have found the safest way to health. Lifestyle diseases like diabetes and blood pressure are all a result of a sedentary lifestyle. Diabetes doesn't run in the family. You get diabetes because nobody in the family runs.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Are you excited? Come on, I would request folks to please switch on your cameras. It will encourage and it'll be great to see everyone's reactions too. So, okay, I am Vedavati Shetty here, your host for tonight's panel discussion coming to you from Pune. I'm absolutely honored and excited to be moderating this discussion on the future of health and well-being brought to you by the Neutralite Live 360 Holistic Health Program. That's best of health and best of fitness. Well, a gentleman called, Josh Billings once said, health is like money. We never have a true idea of its value until we lose it. Isn't it so? But you know what? Today, you will be meeting one exception of a human being who has valued his health proactively and deliberately to the extent so as to have an illustrious national and international sporting career spanning 40 years. Was it only practice and discipline? Was it only right diet or nutrition that helped? Was it some external support from experts that allowed his career unlike others? Let's welcome our first panelist, who is also our esteemed coach and mentor, and my mentor, Farokh Tarapore. He's an ex-naval officer, a double world champion in the sport of sailing. He's represented India in 3 Olympics and 8 Asian Games, winning multiple awards, including the Arjuna Award and the Chhatrapati Shivaji Award. Good evening, Farokh, and thank you for joining us all the way from Mumbai.
Good evening, Veda, and thanks for that warm introduction.
So friends, along with Farokh, so we also have 2 more panelists who have been able to take charge of their health to a great extent with Farokh's guidance and through this program. Please put your hands together and welcome Manoj Rawat from Mumbai and Jitendra Bhatia from Delhi NCR. Well, Manoj by profession was in the sales and marketing. Currently, he is, building a large business along with helping people on health and nutrition. Jitendra is a pharmacist by profession, having his own, chemist shops. It's going to be an interesting discussion. Good evening, Manoj and Jitendra.
Good evening. Good evening, sir.
Great. So let's start. Let's start without too much, wasting too much time. I'm sure everyone is super excited to hear from all. Farokh, we'll start with you. Well, I just said, you've had in the introduction, you've had an illustrious sporting career of 40 years. And even today at, 63, sorry, I reveal your age, but 63 plus, you race every weekend and are mentoring the next gen Olympians, Indian Olympic team. So why and what motivated you to start a program like what we have, the Neutralite Live 360 health program? And what from your, experience of the last 50 years is helping you mentor people like us?
A 2-line answer to this long question is that it is a need of the hour. All right. And it's just so difficult to walk on the street and find, amongst the crowd, anybody who is reasonably healthy. So the situation is that India is, making big strides on the economic front. but in sports, we are nowhere. And one of the reasons why we are not making, headway in sports is basically in sports, the champions come after a filtration process. So if your basic mass of your people, okay, is not healthy, you're always going to find this, as a challenge. But leaving sports out of the picture just now, okay, because we're not really talking about high-level sports over here. What we are talking is about just basic health. And India is in a very, very, sad state as of now, that we are breaking all kinds of world records as far as health is concerned. And the strain on the medical fraternity, is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Hospitals are coming up left, right, and center, but it is impossible for them to cope up with the strain that they are presently facing. Now, to just give you a very, very, a very quick answer. Just 2 days ago, I got a report of a 30-year-old. I repeat, 30. And without mentioning his name for the sake of privacy, I'm going to just read out like the highlights of the report. Cardiac profile, CRP, 8.65. All right. Now that means, for people who don't understand what it means, is the number should not be more than 3. Okay. Total thyroxine, 11.66. HbA1c, which everybody today understands very comfortably, 12.2. Glucose fasting, 400.
Recording in progress.
Liver profile, SGOT/AST, 73. This figure should not be more than 35 for those of you not aware. SGPT/ALT, this figure should not be more than 45. It is 144. Like I was reading through it and saying, "Theek kya hai?" Okay. Alkaline phosphate, this figure should not be more than 128, 251. GGT, this figure should not be more than 40, 422.7. Triglycerides, which most people nowadays understand, 339. HDL cholesterol, which is the good cholesterol, जो ज़्यादा होना चाहिए, वो बहुत कम है, 30 point something. Vitamin D should at least be greater than 30, 14.38. I mean, this is just a synopsis of this report. And I was like holding my head and thinking, how can kitna fast food khaya hoga? How can a 30-year-old have this kind of a report? And it got me thinking seriously that what has changed? Surely he could not have been eating that many burgers or that many pizzas or that many. But time in 30 years, how much damage could you do to your body? But if this is the kind of the reports that are coming out, and I started thinking, what was different 50 years ago? And the difference was only what we are talking about on this platform. Okay, that sedentary lifestyle has increased dramatically. Okay, and nutritional value of your food has gone down dramatically. And that is the reason why you need to be in a community like this where you can understand what is the truth. Now, when somebody tried to get him onto this community, you know what was the answer? He said, that first I will take medicine and then I'll get onto the program. What a wrong form of thinking. all these numbers that are rattled out, which look ghastly, okay, which a 90-year-old should not have, probably, or a 100-year-old should not have. These are all lifestyle-related challenges. And how can you sort out lifestyle-related challenges by putting in chemicals in your body? अरे आप कहाँ से शुरू करोगे? कितना medication लोगे? And each of those medications will come with its own side effect, which will put you in a vicious. Even if you want to start with medication, the thought should be that I should first attack my changing lifestyle, okay, and then see how I can taper this off rather than not be so over-dependent on medication. You know, lifestyle challenges. I'll give you a very simple example. People take, when people have high sugar problems, they take diabetic medication. None of the, if you really study or go into the deep detail of diabetic medication, none of that medicine really helps you sort out your lifestyle problem which created it. You need to first understand that I need to sort out my lifestyle, because although all these numbers are looking very ghastly, there is not a single number in that which is not related to lifestyle problems. And that lifestyle, who's going to educate them? Okay, that they need a lifestyle change and not a medication fix. Because the more medication fix that they're going to, they get into this vicious cycle that each of this medication will have, over a prolonged period of time, have serious side effects. And each of the side effects will need more medication. And once you get into this vicious circle of putting, how many chemicals are you going to really put into your body? Are you made in a laboratory? You need lifestyle changes. Okay, you need a mindset, a change in the mindset as to what is right and what is, I mean, today when we talk about on this community that have your dinner by, before sunset, it meets with a lot of resistance. Okay. And then when they start doing it, and in a short period of time, they start getting to see the results, they see the sense in it. And that is why they have the confidence to invite more people onto the platform. So what really motivates me is to see each one of these people, one at a time, as a group together, collectively, be making a difference in people's lives so that they don't get caught into this web of just being so over-dependent on medication. Okay, don't get me wrong, there's no message over here that you should not be taking medicine. But medication is to be used, with its own common sense approach, right? You just can't blindly lead yourself into, putting in chemicals into your body, which ultimately will be the beginning of your end. If you're putting a lot of chemicals in your body, you can never feel energetic, all your numbers will never be good. I was wondering that if this is the report of a 30-year-old, no insurance company will even insure him. And even if he is insured, he will get either, he will not be covered for various, like most of the problems, or he'll be covered with a lot of loading, right? I mean, I just did my medical insurance, for unlimited sum insured. And I was thinking, that probably at my age of 65, something or the other is probably going to come wrong. But fortunately, I had no exclusions, I had no loading, exactly the small amount of money, and it was done. So what is the difference that these people are facing today, okay, as compared to what these people faced, 50 years ago? And the only difference that comes to my mind is sedentary lifestyle, So which is what we encourage on this platform. Exercise little bit. We encourage them, go little, step by step, do little bit. Okay, you can't do much, do 10 minutes after a meal. All right. And we have seen that after people have used technology and, put those patches on, and how they could monitor their glucose levels, and how those glucose levels started coming down. With those glucose levels started coming down, many other things started becoming better. And many things, like from your lipid profiles to your, pressure problems. And there are so many people on this community who have benefited so tremendously from this program. And that is where the whole power of the supplements come into play. Because I cannot, just imagine that the guy has only lived for 30 years. How could he have damaged his body to this extent? Okay. And none of these things are genetic in nature. Okay. These are all totally lifestyle issues, coming from poor nutrition, eating a lot of processed food, eating refined food, super refined food, eating empty calories, and sedentary lifestyle. So I'm sorry I've taken away a lot of your time, right? But I think this was extremely important for people to understand that if you have a lifestyle challenge, try to sort it out with lifestyle changes and not be only dependent on medication. Okay. And that is what really motivates me to, to help each of these individuals one at a time.
Thanks, Farokh. In fact, I'm sweating even listening to those numbers. It is shocking how that individual is even alive and walking. But yeah, it is scary.
That's actually, sorry to interrupt, Rita, but that actually is the problem. That what I didn't mention is that in my sporting career, what we found is that when you're from 30 to 40, you are like a rock. Okay, you stop growing. Okay, so all you need is maintenance, but most people don't stop eating that much. So, so they always seem to have excess. So the energy levels when you are people from 30 to 40, they're very good. So most people sometimes, even with extremely bad results, okay, may not even realize कि कुछ हो रहा है. And when they are in a company of, people with really bad, health issues, it is a normal, अरे तेरा कितना है? मेरा तो शुगर, मेरा 400 है, मेरा 500 है. Okay, it's like a competition, Oh, how many stents have you got? Oh, I've got 1. Oh, I've got 2.5. Things like that. So it is also the company which makes a huge difference. And when they're in a company, they don't even realize that, this should not be the normal. Okay, you should be, according to me, you should be seriously worried. But what I'm finding is that the youth is not worried now because they have this, some weird sense of, faith in कि medication मेरे को बचा लेगा, which is not true.
No, I have to own up. Even I was of that mentality because even I didn't care about my parameters. I just went on with my work and all. And it only clearly starts striking you when you're in your 40s. And as you mentioned, Farokh, very, very rightly, your association matters. Only when I saw Raj and all who were healthy, that I realized I am unhealthy. So coming with this thought, coming to you, Manoj. Manoj, you have, come into this program when you had weighed 114 kgs. When you, of course, I know you were weighing even heavier earlier, and then through the course of a year, you lost about 30 plus kgs. So when you approached for help, what was your health condition? सब कुछ ठीक था, सिर्फ weight loss करना था या क्या था? Like,
कुछ भी ठीक नहीं था. Now why I am saying that? क्योंकि मोटापा वाज नॉट द प्रॉब्लम, लेकिन मोटापे की वजह से जो प्रॉब्लम आने वाली थी, जो मेरे को 2014 में डॉक्टर ने बोला था कि मनोज यू आर ओवरवेट, मैं बोला मुझे मालूम है, तो उसने ना ऐसा कागज लिया और उसने दवाई वो बीमारियों के नाम लिखना चालू कर दिया, 1 2 3 4 बीपी, डायबिटीज, थायराइड वगैरह वगैरह, जो लिखा, कोलेस्ट्रॉल। बोला आपको ना इसकी वजह से ये बीमारियां आ सकती है। मैं बोला ये भी मुझे पता है। तो प्रॉब्लम बहुत सारी आने के कगार पे थी, मतलब आने वाली थी, है ना, मोटापे की वजह से। बट थैंक्स फॉर फारूक एंड एसोसिएशन। यस, द पावर ऑफ एसोसिएशन इज वेरी पावरफुल। ओके, उसके बगैर मुझे नहीं लगता कुछ हो सकता है। आप अकेले कुछ नहीं कर सकते हो, और साथ अगर लोगों का हो, लाइक माइंडेड पीपल, है ना, एक जैसे सोच रखने वाले लोगों का, तो फिर आप बहुत कुछ पा सकते हो। मेरी कंडीशन उस वक्त जो थी, उसमें सिर्फ मुझे ब्लड प्रेशर आया था। ओके, और अभी जो मैं डेटा सुन रहा था तो मुझे भी ज़्यादा डर लगा जैसे आपको लगा वेदा। और तुरंत मैंने ना एक अपने, अभी कुछ दिन पहले मैंने अपनी रिपोर्ट निकलवाई थी, एंड इसके अंदर ऐसी कोई चीज़ नहीं है जो बराबर नहीं है ना। ब्लड प्रेशर एकदम नॉर्मल, डायबिटीज एकदम नॉर्मल, और क्या बोलते हैं उसको, कोलेस्ट्रॉल, ट्राइग्लिसराइड बिलो लेवल। मतलब अब तो मुझे डर लगता है कि और क्या करूँ, थोड़ा और बढ़ा दूं क्या, है ना। उसके बाद कमिंग टू, एक मिनट ना, मैं एक चीज, हाँ, जो D3 लोग बात करते हैं, या फिर लोग बात करते हैं B12 की, वो भी नॉर्मल। इमेजिन करिए कितना बढ़िया प्रोग्राम। आज नहीं तो मुझे पता है मैं 57 का हूँ, और 52 की एज में अगर ये डिसीजन नहीं लिया होता, तो गारंटीड है 3 4 टाइप की अलग अलग, 3 4 बीमारियों की तो मैं गोली खा रहा हूँ। हो सकता है वो कोई गोली को मैं दिन में 2 बार खा रहा होता, किसी बीमारी के लिए मैं शायद 2 अलग अलग गोलियां खा रहा होता। तो हो सकता है 6 से 7 गोलियां मेरे पास होती है आज की डेट में, लेकिन बिल्कुल नहीं। और यहीं पर ये रुकता नहीं है, यहाँ से फिर आगे जाता है। जब एक बार आप चालू करते हो, फिर आपका परिवार चालू करने लग जाता है, एंड दैट इज अमेजिंग। ओके, तो यू कैन स्पीक ऑन दिस लेटर ऑन आगे से। यस,
No, thank you. Thanks for those insights. And आप जो गोलियों के बारे बात कर रहे हो, वही इंसान, we get used to eating medicines और हमें लगता है कि यही है life. But it impacts, you know. And since we're talking about medicines, let me come to the chemist himself. So, Jitendra ji, now you are a pharmacist. आपकी दुकान भी है chemist के। आप तो मेडिकल रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स और डॉक्टर्स के साथ तो रोज का आपका उठना बैठना है।
Right.
तो यू मस्ट हैव बीन you must have had access to a lot of medications for everything. तो आप इस प्रोग्राम में क्यों आए हैं? Means what was your issue, and why couldn't your current, whatever access you had, resolve it?
It was in around 2018 when I was diagnosed with diabetes. और डायबिटीज माई HbA1c लेवल, जिसका अभी फरूख सर ने बताया है रिपोर्ट में, इट वाज 7.4 एंड आई वाज नॉट शॉक्ड बिकॉज मुझे व्हेन आई वाज डूइंग माय फार्मेसी, मुझे हम लोगों को ये पढ़ाया जाता है कि इट इज जेनेटिक। आपकी फैमिली में अगर हिस्ट्री है तो इट इज जेनेटिक, आपको होगा। तो आई वाज नॉट शॉक, ठीक है यार, मेरे को पता है कि मेरी मदर की साइड में एवरीवन इज हैविंग इज सफरिंग फ्रॉम डायबिटीज, तो मुझे होना है। तो आई वाज नॉट शॉक। तो ठीक है, डॉक्टर के पास गए, उन्होंने कुछ ट्रीटमेंट दिया, उन्होंने मेडिसिन स्टार्ट की, और साथ में कुछ लाइफस्टाइल चेंजेस बताए। डॉक्टर ने बस ये बताया कि आपको यू हैव टू लूज वेट, बिकॉज आई वाज अराउंड 94-95। डॉक्टर ने बताया यू हैव टू लूज वेट, बट किसी भी डॉक्टर ने आज तक ये नहीं बताया हाउ। दैट इज इम्पोर्टेंट। 1.5 साल 2 साल आई वॉज ऑन मेडिसिन का डोज बढ़ता जा रहा था। शुगर लेवल्स वहीं के वहीं, दे वर नॉट डिक्रीजिंग। देन आई मेट फारूक सर, थैंक्स टू फारूक सर। और फारूक सर की एक बात उस टाइम स्टार्टिंग में उन्होंने मुझे बोली थी, और वो आज तक मैं भूलूंगा नहीं, कभी शायद कभी जिंदगी में नहीं भूलूंगा। डायबिटीज और एनी लाइफस्टाइल डिसऑर्डर रन्स इन योर फैमिली बिकॉज नो वन रन्स इन योर फैमिली। दिस इज द क्रक्स, एंड वो सच है। हमें लगता है कि ये जेनेटिक है, बट जेनेटिक इज टोटल मिथ। ये सब, आई एम अ फार्मासिस्ट, मैं केमिस्ट शॉप चलाता हूँ, बट आई नाउ आई से कि ये फार्मा कंपनीज का एक माफिया है, एंड आई प्राउडली से, एंड आई वांट एवरीवन टू बी मेडिसिन फ्री in spite of running to medical stores. I want everyone to be medicine free. और अगर इस प्लेटफॉर्म को जिस तरीके से डिजाइन किया गया है, जिस तरीके से हम लोगों के लाइफस्टाइल चेंजेस होते हैं, छोटे छोटे चेंजेस होते हैं, मैं आई एम डूइंग माय बिजनेस फ्रॉम अराउंड 2009, और 2018 या 19 तक, जब तक मैं इस प्रोग्राम से नहीं जुड़ा था, मुझे नहीं पता था कि थोड़ी देर में बैठने के बाद थोड़ी देर में उठ के चलना है, कभी किसी ने बताया नहीं था। फॉर अराउंड 10 to 12 hours आई यूज टू सिट ऑन माई चेयर ओनली। बट अभी आधा एक घंटा, आधा पौना घंटा, एक घंटा होता तो अपने आप अंदर से आवाज आती है, यार बहुत देर हो गई उठा नहीं, जाके आई जस्ट रोम अराउंड इन द शॉप, और मैं शॉप से बाहर निकल के थोड़ा सा घूम लेता हूँ। तो ये छोटे छोटे चेंजेस होते हैं विच वी हैव टू इनकलकेट इन आवरसेल्व्स। और थैंक्स टू फारूक सर, इन्होंने जो छोटी छोटी चीजें चेंजेस करवाए हैं, उससे मेरा HbA1c लेवल विद इन 6 months इट वाज 4.8। और अब भी मैं एवरी ईयर आई डू माई ब्लड टेस्ट, कंप्लीट बॉडी चेकअप। आज तक उसके बाद से मेरा कभी भी 5.1 5.2 से ऊपर HbA1c नहीं गया, एंड द नॉर्मल लेवल्स आर 5.7। तो ऑल थैंक्स टू फारूक सर एंड हिज गाइडेंस, और एंड दिस कम्युनिटी में कभी कभी आप अकेले में करेंगे तो थोड़ा ढीला हो जाता है, ठीक है, कैजुअल हो जाता है, बट जब कम्युनिटी में आप देखते हैं एक कर रहा है, दूसरा कर रहा है, तो अपने आप एक मोटिवेशन रहता है। सो you do. So thanks to Farokh sir and this community.
No, great, great. So definitely, आप केमिस्ट की दुकान में बैठ के आप obviously community से inspire नहीं हो गए. And of course, Farokh, you mentioned when you were talking, and even I think through what Manoj and Jitendra mentioned, you talked about supplements. You know, people now are probably ठीक है, health चाहिए. They think they know everything about health. They talk about exercises. They talk about eating good and all. They're still very wary of taking supplements. Now, the question is, why do you feel that we need supplements? Second, is it important to understand the type of supplement? What has your experience been?
See, well, your body needs a certain amount of nutrition on a daily basis. Okay, the food that you eat gives you a certain amount of nutrition. Now, what has happened over decades? Okay, I always go back to like 50 years, 50 years is a pretty good time to judge as to what has happened. Entire farming practices have changed. Okay, 50 years ago, the population of the world was probably, not as what it is today. It was way lesser than 8 billion people. So we needed lesser food, so there was no need. Okay, now the need is there, so that in order to produce more, due to all these genetic modifications, what they have done is that they have compromised on the nutrition. So they're giving you bulk food, so they're giving you calories, but they're not giving you the right amount of nutrition. And that is what creates a daily nutritional gap. Now imagine, if you have a bank account, okay, and every day you are withdrawing more money from the bank account than what is going into the bank account, what do you think is going to happen to the bank account? It is going to become zero, right? The same thing, what's going to happen to your body? If you leave a nutritional gap, okay, on a daily basis, like macro and the micronutrients, for example, you need 1 gram of protein for normal people, per kilo of body weight. Now, let's assume that instead of eating 1 gram per kilo of body weight, you are eating only 0.2 of a gram per kilo of body weight. You are leaving a deficiency of 0.8 of a gram per kilo of body weight. Now, protein is the building block of life. It does everything. It does your repair. It looks after your skin, hair, all your repair of your cells, everything. The body needs that protein, and especially in that the 9 essential amino acids. Okay. So when you have this deficiency, this nutritional gap, okay, you need to find some way to bridge it. And sports people genetically are wired a little differently. They want more energy than the other people around it. They want more energy than the competitors. Okay, so they go to great lengths. So I had gone to great lengths, how can I get more energy? What can I do? How can I be more focused? How can I improve my concentration? How can I be multitask oriented and yet make good decisions? How can my mind be sharp through the harsh conditions of the salt sea water and the sun, and and how can the mind make the correct decisions? So the mind was always thinking on how to fix this gap, because we understood this gap very quickly. And believe me, when I tell you, you won't even, I mean, most people on this group will not believe what I just say. Even at the Olympic level, I've noticed that due to simple things like lack of even hydration, okay, or a lack of a single micronutrient, due to the stress of the competition, people start even forgetting left from the right. That means they get so phased out that they cannot understand, they make errors between left and right. Okay. And now you must be thinking, how is that possible? These are like all super athletes, super bodies, super brains, trained well, trained professionally. But I've seen that. Okay. And accidents happen even at the highest level. And people have done a lot of research on that subject. And they found that the research all points only in one direction. It is the nutritional gap. And when you want to fill in this nutritional gap, you want to ensure that, just as I talked in my previous, answer, that what was different as compared to 50 years ago, the quality of the nutrition. So when you're replacing, when you're bridging that nutritional gap, you want to be careful about two things. Are you taking supplements which are from good organic source? What is the source of your supplement? What is the purity of your supplement? What is the efficacy of your supplement? Okay. And what does it really do? Does it really do something, or it is just another chemical that you're putting into your body? So it is a no-brainer that if you need iron, okay, you will not eat iron nails. Okay, you rather take iron from palak. But if you go to a chemist store and buy an iron supplement, there actually will be iron filings in the supplement. So you need to be extremely careful that what supplements you are taking, okay? And there is so much of talk about, supplements are good, supplements are bad, okay? Most of it is all rubbish, okay? The truth lies in understanding that how close is your supplement to the natural food that you are eating. The closer it is to the natural food, the better is the quality of the supplement. Is the supplement consistent? That means if you take one tablet and if you take another tablet, do both the tablets contain exactly the same amount? Okay. Or is it like, okay, oh, they put it in a big bowl, and it is a luck of the draw. एक tablet में ज़्यादा आ गया, एक tablet में कम आ गया. All right. So purity, safety, and efficacy of the supplement is extremely important. But the real golden rule, the final answer is, how close is the supplement to your natural organic food? Okay. If you can get everything from a good organic farm, I recommend to people that you definitely don't need supplements. Okay. But we know that is virtually impossible unless you are living on one. Okay. Hence, the second best thing to do is to have these organic supplements coming from Neutralite, where your purity, safety, and the efficacy of the supplement is guaranteed.
For that answer, because I'm sure that will answer a lot of questions that many folks have on supplementation. Just one more, probably, Farokh, on the same lines. In the program, you talked about exercise, you talked about diet and supplementation. So are we mainly working on a weight loss, or do we even, since today we are observing a lot of, lifestyle diseases, like even you mentioned energy. A lot of people just want to experience higher amount of energy on a daily basis. I know I did want to do that. Some people have fatty liver issues, many, many more, even women health and all. Can our program address that as well, or is it mainly to do with weight loss?
Well, the program actually has got nothing to do with weight loss. It has everything to do with changing mindset, which improves lifestyle. Okay, so in order to prevent you from getting lifestyle challenges, so that you stay away from basically medication. Weight loss generally is like an added bonus to the whole program. All right, and of course we have got all these BMI settings and all. Even that, okay, although there's a science behind it, it is not to be taken literally. A few things here, like I can show you some people who are way about 25 on the BMI, but still extremely fit. Okay. So, but there's just a guideline. It at least gives you a guideline to move into, and you always have to see, you cannot anytime see one individual parameter in isolation. Okay. You got to see the whole holistic, you got to have a whole holistic approach. Like I'll give you another very, very glaring example where I've seen cases, when people have kidney problems and they need, they need to change their kidneys and they are on dialysis, or they need a, organ kidney change. Most of the time, I've noticed that the doctors tell them that don't eat protein. Okay. Now, this is really, in my opinion, shocking. Okay. Now, what they are saying in a way is right, because for them, protein creates that excess, waste, and that should not hurt the kidney. And that is why they give them that advice. But they don't realize that we got a supplement, okay, which has got a PDCA score of 1. So when we have a PDCA score of 1, that means now it's like basically taking the protein, okay, without leaving the residue behind. Okay, so it's solving both the problems. And this is one of the big problems, okay, with medication, that they get so narrow focus, okay, in just treating the symptoms, that they forget to treat the cause, and they forget the whole holistic approach. And in the process, I see a lot of people dying because of this advice. All right, that don't take protein. It's impossible. A human being cannot, over a period of time, survive without protein. Okay, needs that protein. Now you need to find a way of putting the right protein in and not compromise the rest of the holistic body. So this program is all about holistic health approach. Okay, you can be 100 kilos overweight, but if you tell me I'm happy with my 100 kilos overweight and I'm feeling great and I'm feeling very energetic, okay, and here are all my parameters that are looking great, I would say great. Maybe you want to probably reduce some fat and put on some muscle. Okay. But all this can only happen if over a period of time you need to keep on educating people. Even on the group community, I've been noticing that you tell somebody something, it just doesn't penetrate. It has to be repeated, over 100 times. And repetition is the mother of all teaching. And that is the reason when you stick around in a community and the same issue is being hammered again and again and again. Don't have, the worst thing you can do, have a late night dinner and then go to sleep. Worst thing you can do is have a late night and go to sleep. You repeat that 100 times with 100 people also repeating that. Okay, it starts to make a difference. And then it becomes a habit. And when it becomes a good habit, subconsciously, people start to, just apply it. And the next generation won't even know why are you doing it. but that's for the good. All right. So we need to bring in the good habits. You need to basically change mindset. And the whole program is only focused on one thing and one thing, is your entire holistic health. We want your whole, we want to worry about your whole body. We don't want to have a focus approach, iska bhai sugar level kam karo. Okay. Like you take medication and the sugar level is reduced in your bloodstream, but it doesn't solve your problem. It doesn't make your pancreas work any better. It's not making the insulin secrete better. It's not making your the energy that you have got out of your food to be transferred into your cell getting better. How do you have more energy when the glucose from your food that you eat enters to the bloodstream and is waiting to be travel to the other cell for which insulin is required? Now, if that insulin is not given at the right time by your body, how will your body feel energetic? It's not going to feel energetic. So we are looking not at a particular problem. Oh, aapka sugar level high hai blood ke andar. No. That will get solved automatically if you sort out holistic health, if you sort out lifestyle problems, you take the right, nutrition, and you put in the right exercise, gradually things start getting in order and you start becoming better and better and better.
Right. Thank you. And I hope that helps folks, because yes, there are people, who've been on the program who are probably who used to run in marathons, and yet their health was not proper. The organ health wasn't, good, and that's what got corrected here. Manoj, you were in fact alluding to this fact, which Farokh also just mentioned, that when you start taking care of your health, then your next generation or your family also starts taking care of your health. So you were mentioning that. Can you elaborate more on that? Also, after you lost that 30 kgs, यूजुअली हम कुछ प्रोग्राम्स में देखते हैं ना कि बाउंस बैक हो जाता है वेट एंड ऑल. आपके साथ ये इशू हुआ? इसमें हुआ तो आपने क्या किया, नहीं हुआ तो क्यों नहीं हुआ? इफ यू कैन जस्ट शेयर बोथ ऑफ दीज.
पहले मैं आपके दूसरे सवाल का पहले जवाब दे देता हूँ.
Okay.
It is regarding to my weight. When I started journey, तो I was discussing with Farokh कि कितने लेवल पे आना चाहिए. तो Farokh said कि मैं बोला 75. He said no, 70. मुझे समझ में नहीं आया क्यों बोला. मैं 73.9 तक आ गया. मैं बोला ये बहुत है, मेरे ख्याल से बराबर है. फरूक ने तो जबरदस्ती खींचा होगा, सोचा होगा तो 70 बोला तो 75 तक तो आ ही जाएगा. मैं 73.9 पे आ गया तो ओके ठीक है चलेगा. बट एक्चुअली ही वाज राइट, बिकॉज ही न्यू कि 70 पे आने के बाद 70 पे नहीं टिका होगा. आपका वेट उतने पे नहीं टिकेगा, वो वेरी करता रहता है, ऊपर नीचे ऊपर नीचे ऊपर नीचे. अगर आप 70 पे आ गए तो इसका मतलब है कि 78 पे आ जाएगा जल्दी. वो जल्दी नहीं आएगा 78 पे, लेकिन वो 70 पे आ गया तो जल्दी 69 पे नहीं आएगा वो, लेकिन 71 72 पे जल्दी आ जाएगा. ऊपर जल्दी हो जाएगा और नीचे जल्दी नहीं होगा. एंड आई थिंक दैट वाज हिज आइडिया कि मैं 70 पे आ जाऊं तो मैं 72 तक भी चले जाऊंगा तो कोई इशू नहीं है. तो मैं 73.9 मतलब 74 पकड़िए, 74 पे था तो मैं 74 से 78 के बीच में खेलता रहता हूँ. ओके, विच इज नॉर्मल. ये इसलिए नहीं हुआ बिकॉज आई न्यू कि ये होगा और उसके लिए क्या करना है. एंड दैट इज वेयर ये प्रोग्राम एंड स्पेशली फरूक हेल्प्स इन. और फरूक की वजह से हम सीख लिए हैं कि हमें कैसा करना है, क्या करना है. और जो सबसे बड़ी बात है उसमें जो हेल्प करती है दैट इज कॉल्ड हैबिट, है ना. क्योंकि अगर आपने उसको कंटिन्यू 1 साल तक अगर कर लिया है, मुझे तो 1 साल करना पड़ा कंटिन्यू, तो आदत हो जाती है ना. वो आदत अच्छी आदत है तो अच्छा बनाएगी, बुरी आदत है तो बुरा बनाएगी. तो मेरे को अच्छी आदत तो ऐसी है कि अगर मैं अपने आप को आज किससे बात कर रहा था कि 1994 से लेके 2012 तक एवरी डे आई यूज्ड टू हैव 2 वड़ा, है ना. मैं कहीं भी हूँ मुझे मालूम है यहाँ पे बहुत अच्छा वड़ा पाव मिलता है. पुणे पे हो तो मुझे मालूम है कैंप में जाना है, और कैंप में हो तो खाना है कि नहीं. तो वैसे ही बम्बई में भी कई सारे हैं, और महाराष्ट्र में तो बहुत से मैं जो घूमता रहता था, तो मुझे पता था कहाँ पर वड़ा पाव मिलेगा, कहाँ पे दाबेली मिलेगी, कहाँ पे कचौरियाँ मिलेगी, फैमिन एमपी, है कि नहीं. तो ये सब हमें पता रहता था फील्ड में होने की वजह से. लेकिन अब ऐसी सिचुएशन है कि आप मेरे सामने कढ़ाई के कढ़ाई वड़ा तल लो, मुझे कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा, कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. मैं उसमें से निकाल के टेस्ट भी नहीं करूंगा, वो तभी होगा, तभी बड़ा मेरे मुंह पे जाएगा अगर बाई चांस किसी ने मुझे इंस्टिगेट कर लिया, अरे नहीं एक तो खा लो, कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, टेस्ट तो कर लो, तभी शायद हो सकता है, अदरवाइज बिल्कुल नहीं। हमारे सोसाइटी में कई प्रोग्राम होते हैं, बिल्कुल नहीं खाता हूँ। आज ही मैं कहीं ऑफिस में गया था, मेरे सामने कोल्ड ड्रिंक लेके आ गए हो, मैं ना बोल दिया सीधा कि आई डोंट टेक इट, और सीधा मैंने प्रोटीन की बोतल निकाली, अपने सामने उनके सामने पीने लगा, है ना, दैट हेल्प्स। फिर वो पूछने लगे क्या है कैसा है, कन्वर्सेशन उस तरफ चला गया। सो दैट हैपेंड। तो इस तरह से मैंने अपने आप को कर लिया। लेकिन अब जहां पर बात आती है कि अगर आपने कर लिया तो फैमिली के लिए या फिर एक्सटेंडेड फैमिली के लिए, फ्रेंड्स में क्या फर्क पड़ता है? बहुत फर्क है। अगर आप महाराष्ट्र में जाओ, अगर रास्तों पे चलो तो ऑटो आपको रिक्शा देखेंगे, और ऑटो रिक्शा के पीछे ना एक अच्छा स्लोगन लिखा हुआ मिलता है, मुलगी सीखली प्रगति झाली। कई लोगों ने पढ़ा होगा। मतलब ये कि अगर एक परिवार में अगर लड़की पढ़ गई है तो सिर्फ लड़की नहीं पढ़ती है, पूरा परिवार पढ़ता है, और उससे प्रगति हो जाती है, डेवलपमेंट हो जाता है। वही चीज इसमें भी है। एक घर के एक इंसान ने अगर पढ़ लिया, इस चीज को समझ लिया, पकड़ लिया, आस्ते 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 पूरा परिवार आ जाता है। आज जहां तक न्यूट्रिशन की बात है, मेरा लड़का ही इज नॉट इन इंडिया, लेकिन यहाँ से जब भी वो जाता है या जब भी कोई फ्रेंड जाता है, उसका पूरा एक सिर्फ वही बनता है पार्सल। अगर कोई उसको फ्रेंड इधर आया है और हमने कुछ पार्सल भेजना है तो हम सिर्फ न्यूट्रलाइट ही भेजते हैं उसको। जब वो आता है और उसके फ्रेंड्स के मम्मी डैडी अगर कुछ पार्सल भेजते हैं तो इट इज लाइक फाफड़ा, अचार, है ना, ऑल दोस थिंग्स। आम के टाइम पे आम की पेटियां, है ना, पेटियां तो नहीं मतलब कोई डजन आम, ये सब देते हैं। तो हमने हैबिट बना दी है घर के अंदर। जब मैं 80 के आसपास पहुंचा था तो कमला माई वाइफ ने फरूक को फोन करके बोला कि फरूक अभी और वजन कम मत कराइए, मनोज बहुत कमजोर दिख रहा है। एंड फरूक ने सिर्फ एक ही सेंटेंस बोला कि कमला तुझे क्या लगता है कि तू पतली है क्या? एंड मैडम वाज 68, नाउ शी इज 58। नाउ दैट वाज अ चेंज। बहुत जल्दी दिल पे ले लिया उन्होंने। मेरी लड़की, हमारे परिवार में अगर कोई सबसे ज्यादा टैबलेट खाता है, मतलब न्यूट्रिशन की गोलियां खाता है, तो दैट इज माय डॉटर। अराउंड 12 टैबलेट्स इन अ डे। ओके, सबसे ज्यादा। सी इज गागा अबाउट दिस न्यूट्रिशन। गा मतलब चाहिए, मतलब चाहिए, मतलब चाहिए। उसका सीधा मैसेज आ जाएगा, ये खत्म हो रहा है, इतने दिन का है, मुझे चाहिए, भेज दो कहीं से भी। ऐसे करें। कमिंग टू माई मॉम, मेरी माँ इसके हार्ड कोर अगेंस्ट में थी। एक मैं आपको थोड़ा सा इंसिडेंट सुनाऊंगा, टाइम है तो। नवरात्रि के पहले का टाइम था, कि 2-4 साल पहले की बात है। और मुझे फोन आया अचानक कि तबीयत खराब है मेरी। मेरे भाई के साथ रहती है माँ मेरे। तो मैं चला गया, भाई मेरा इंडिया में नहीं रहता, तो मुझे जाना पड़ता है कभी कुछ काम हो ऐसे। तो मैं चला गया। मैं बोला क्या हुआ? बोली वही सर्दी खांसी है, तो डॉक्टर के पास जाना है। बोला कितने दिन से? बोले 2 दिन से। बोला 2 दिन से नहीं गई? बोला नहीं, दोनों दिन गई। बोला वेरी गुड। अब माँ है तो जो बोलेगी पहले तो मानना ही पड़ता है। ले गया। डॉक्टर ने कुछ नहीं किया, खाली बाहर की जो दवाई लिख के देता था उसमें से एक चेंज कर। ओके, मैं देखा तो वो एंटीबायोटिक था। मैं कुछ नहीं बोला, माँ को घर पे लाके रख दिया। नेक्स्ट डे वापस फोन आया कि मनोज तबीयत नहीं ठीक हुई और खराब हो लग रहा है मुझे, आ जा। मैं वापस गया। क्या करना है? डॉक्टर के पास जाना है। मैं बोला चलो, वापस ले गया। डॉक्टर ने कुछ नहीं किया, वही चेक किया और दवा लिख के दिया। यहाँ पर एक चीज और है, कई लोग ना इतने वो रहते हैं ना, इंथुसियास्ट, कि नहीं हमें तो ये रिपोर्ट भी निकलवानी है। तो डॉक्टर को माँ बोल रही है मेरे कि एक्सरे भी निकाल लूं क्या? डॉक्टर नहीं बता रहा कि ये करना है, ये करना है, करना है, मैं एक्सरे भी निकलवा लूं क्या? डॉक्टर ने बोला नहीं, कोई जरूरत नहीं है। सेकेंड डे भी दवा दे दी। थर्ड डे वापस फोन आया मुझे। अब मैं इरिटेट होना ही था, और अब मुझे पूरा रीजन भी मिल गया था कि मैं माँ को थोड़ा ज्ञान दूं। मैं अपने जेब में 3-4 डब्बे ले गया, बैठा माँ के पास। बोला क्या हुआ? बोला डॉक्टर के पास जाना है। बोला डॉक्टर के पास जाना है या इलाज करना है? बोला ये बता दे। अब मेरी माँ भी मेरी माँ है, बोलते डॉक्टर के पास जाएंगे तो ही तो इलाज होगा। मैं बोला नहीं, तो पिछले 4 दिन से जा रही है, कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ा। तो बोले फिर क्या करें? बोला मानना है तो बोल, नहीं तो मैं नहीं बोलूंगा। बोले नहीं मान लूंगी, बोल क्या बात है। मैंने वो जो अपने 3-4 बेसिकली इम्यूनिटी बूस्ट करने वाले जो टैबलेट्स देने थे वो दिए। मैं बोला दिन भर में तीनों गोलियां 3 बार खानी है। तो इतना ज्यादा? बोला क्यों, डॉक्टर जब एक टाइम पे 4-5 गोली दे रहा है तब तो खा सकती है, इसको क्यों नहीं? बोली ठीक है। और मैं बोला कल से मैं सिर्फ एक बार फोन करूंगा सुबह और एक ही सवाल पूछूंगा कैसा लग रहा है, और तो सिर्फ एक शब्द में आंसर देगी। ठीक लग रहा है, कल से ज्यादा अच्छा लग रहा है, कल से बुरा और ज्यादा खराब हो गया, या फिर सेम वैसे का वैसे ही। यही आंसर देना है तूने, वो 3 में से एक, और कोई आंसर नहीं देना है मुझे। माँ ने बोला ठीक है। रोज मैं फोन करते गया, अगले 2-3 दिन तक फोन किया, बोली हाँ आज थोड़ा ठीक है, आज थोड़ा ठीक है, आज थोड़ा और ठीक है। जब 3 दिन तक मैंने फोन कर दिया, बाद में मेरे दिमाग से भी निकल गया फोन करने का। देन आई सॉ हर इन अ वेडिंग 10-12 दिन के बाद, और जैसे मैंने उनको देखा मेरे को स्ट्राइक हुआ। मैंने बोला अरे तीनों टैबलेट मैंने 3-3 बार खाने बोली थी, 9 टैबलेट अगर ठीक हो गई है, यहाँ पर दिख रही मतलब ठीक हो गई तो रिड्यूस कराना होगा। तो फिर मैंने बोला तबीयत कैसी? बोली बढ़िया हूँ अभी। बोला तो गोली उतना ही खा रही है? तो इतने में अचानक मेरी भाई की वाइफ आ गई साइड में, उसने बोला नहीं मैंने कम करा दिया था, बिकॉज सी इज ऑल्सो इन न्यूट्रिशन, वो हमारे साथ में है, उसकी लड़की भी है, मेरा भाई भी है, तो ये एक्सटेंड हो गया। मेरी सास, वो भी, मतलब शी एक्सपायर्ड एट द एज ऑफ 93, 2 साल पहले एक्सपायर हुई है वो। लेकिन नहीं, हम पहाड़ी में जो आटा होता है, फ्लोर, उसको बोलते हैं पिशू, पिसा हुआ मतलब है ना। तो जब भी उनका प्रोटीन खत्म होता था तो फोन करके मुझे बोलती थी कि मनोज मेरा पिशू लेके आ, आटा ले आ, मतलब प्रोटीन पाउडर को बोलती थी, आटा ले आ। बोला इस तरह से फर्क पड़ता है। मेरी माँ का एक और एग्जांपल दूंगा, तकरीबन 5 साल पहले की बात है। लड़की का अचानक फोन आया मेरे, बोले पापा मम्मी मेडिकल स्टोर में है, क्योंकि मैंने शायद ये प्रोग्राम में बहुत बार बताया है कि 5 टाइप की दुकानों में हम नहीं जाते हैं, उसमें से एक मेडिकल स्टोर है। तो बोला कि मम्मी मेडिकल स्टोर में है। मैं बोला क्यों, क्या हो गया? बोली पता नहीं। बोला फिर क्या कर रही है वहाँ पे? बोला नहीं कोई तो प्रिस्क्रिप्शन है वो देख के ले रही है। मैं बोला जरा उसका फोटो भेज तुरंत। जैसे मैंने फोटो देखा तो इट वॉज नी पेन बेसिकली, है ना। तो मैं बोला उसमें से कुछ मत ले, सिर्फ एक ऑयल जो है मसाज का वो ले, वो दादी को बोल घर जा, और शाम को पापा जी आएंगे मिलेंगे। मैं शाम को गया, कैल्शियम ओमेगा एंड ग्लूकोसामिन 3 चीजें दी। बोला इसको चालू करो, डोसेज बता दिए, डोसेज चालू करो। उस दिन और आज का दिन माँ ने कभी कोई पेन किलर नहीं खाया, कभी कोई मेरे को पेन की तकलीफ के बारे में कुछ नहीं बोला, और एवरी मॉर्निंग शी वॉक्स फ्रॉम 6 to 7 o'clock। दैट इज इट। तो ये सारी चीजें हैं, एंड एज फारूक सेड कि अगर आपको खाने से सब कुछ मिलता है देन यू डोंट नीड टू वरी। लेकिन अब क्या क्या कैलकुलेट करोगे और कितना कैलकुलेट करोगे सर? जितना कैलकुलेशन में टाइम डालोगे उसमें आप उतना फंस जाओगे। अगर ज्यादा कैलकुलेशन करना है, एक ही चीज कर लो, 1 किलो ककड़ी जो 50-60 रुपए किलो मिलती है, उसमें देखिए कितना न्यूट्रिशन मिलता है, और हमारे 25 रुपए का एक मल्टीविटामिन की गोली देख लीजिए, उसमें क्या क्या न्यूट्रिशन मिलता है। सारे डाउट क्लियर हो जाएंगे आप, कि आपको सिर्फ काकड़ी खानी चाहिए 50-60 रुपए किलो वाली, जो कि आप खा नहीं सकते 200-300-400 ग्राम, और यहाँ पर एक टैबलेट से आपको क्या क्या मिल सकता
So basically,
है।
what
That is
we are
what they do.
saying is eat your food, supplement with the right supplements, which is the Neutralite supplement, and do your exercise.
Yes.
So thank you, Manoj, for sharing your experience and your family's experience. Jitendra, what is that one takeaway from the program, and what will you tell for anyone, any new participant who is joining the program?
Just one thing I would say to any new joining, just follow what Farokh sir is saying blindly. Just आई मतलब आंख बंद करके आपको सिर्फ जो फरूख सर कह रहे हैं उसको मान लीजिए, बिकॉज ही इज अ लेजेंड, एंड वो आपके लिए जो भी कहेंगे ही इज टॉकिंग फ्रॉम हिज 40-50 years ऑफ एक्सपीरियंस। आपको आंख बंद करके उनकी माननी है, उसके बाद फिर आप विद इन फ्यू डेज आपको समझ में आ जाएगा कि मैं ये क्यों कह रहा हूँ। वो कहते हैं कि आपको मॉर्निंग में ब्रेकफास्ट में क्या खाना है, तो आपने वही खाना है। आप उसको करके देखिए, जस्ट 10 to 15 डेज आपको समझ में आ जाएगा कि क्यों। आपको रात को 9 बजे के बाद, आपको रात को आफ्टर सनसेट यू डोंट हैव टू ईट एनीथिंग। आप वो करके देखिए, आप अपनी सर्काडियन साइकिल पे काम करके देखिए जो फरूख सर समझाते हैं, आप जो एक्सरसाइजेज वो बताते हैं उस पर काम करके देखिए, योर लाइफ विल बी सॉर्टेड आउट। दैट्स इट।
Okay. Thank you, Jitendra. I think, one main thing, and I'm seeing some questions on the chat as well. Both of them are related, both of the questions are related to what to do when you join, what to eat, etc. Let me just say a few things about the program. What we do is come onto the group, come onto the community. Why are we saying come onto the community? Is because you have Farokh, you have other, mentors and guides as well. You have your health buddy as well. Now, there's a question if someone is starting initially, what it should be, what should the diet plan be? Farokh alluded to this that everybody is different. Everyone's lifestyle is different. So it is very, very important. If you have not yet filled the Google, form about your current lifestyle, like what do you eat, how many meals do you eat? We actually ask these questions. Pani kitna peete ho? Are you a vegetarian or a non-vegetarian? Because on this program, which even what Jitendra wanted to say, what Farokh always says is, we do not prescribe a diet. We help you modify what you eat, because एक North Indian, South Indian, idli बोलोगे तो they will not be able to eat. चावल बोलेंगे तो नहीं होगा. Same time with South Indian folks, if we say roti khana hai, he said वही खाना है, they will not do it. So what we say is, what you are doing, come to the community, first thing is start sharing your plates, what you're eating, anything that you're putting inside your mouth is what you share. How much water are you drinking, chai pee rahe ho, biscuit, whatever it is. When you are on the group, we share with you certain practices, certain inputs. You start with that. Second, please do it, on a daily basis. Farokh, I'm just answering because these are simple questions. You can please, stop me at any point of time. And please understand from your health buddy. If your health buddy, you can always go to mentors like Farokh is there on the group. You can ask questions on the group and come on the Monday and Friday night sessions that we have. We have kept the timing as fixed, which is 9 p.m. Okay. So Rohit, I can see your questions. We are actually running quite late. Farokh, we'll probably take that question because it is not generic. Rohit, so your question is, what should your weight be if you are diabetic and your height is 5 feet 11 inches? I don't think that's a straightforward one. Farokh, you just want to briefly just answer that? You're on mute, please.
Basically, try and get the BMI down to 22.5. All right. So, I mean, you'll have to calculate, first of all, you have your height in centimeters? Rohit, you have your height in centimeters with you?
It's about 5 feet 11. So that should be, let me also just do it, 5 feet 11.
180.
What I would suggest, Rohit, is your health buddy would be able to help you. Let me also just check. Farokh, it is 180 centimeters.
5'11" would be 180 is about 6 feet, so must be around 178 or so. 177, 178. Okay. So 22.5 into, so basically the calculation is 22.5 into 1.78 into 1.78. So your weight should be around 71 kilos, less than 71 kilos. All right. So what is your weight as of now?
His headphone is not working.
Okay.
Like he's not able to speak.
Okay. Basically,
his weight is 90.
Oh, weight is 90. So that's one of the things that you need to change seriously. But the most important thing you need to do is to first do a gut reset, because your whole problem will start from your gut. Because if ye sab karte rahoge, but if your gut reset is not there, it's like you are an inefficient engine. All right. You are an inefficient motor vehicle just now. So in order to make yourself efficient, you need to first do a proper gut reset. That you'll understand once you get into the community and start following the whole this thing about how to do your gut reset.
Thank you, Farokh. So, Rohit and anyone new on this program, if you have not yet joined the community, please do join. If you are on the community, the first thing is ask the person who has invited you to, sit with that person, share your lifestyle, share your parameters. He or she will guide you with the initial basics. And once you start sharing your plates, you'll receive the guidance. What we do is help you change your habits slowly so that you can, sustain for a longer time. The suggestion on Neutralite supplements will also come to you because we look at focus on organ health. And the most important also is come on the Friday night and Monday night 9 p.m. sessions, because these awareness sessions will help you understand कि ये चीज हम क्यों बोल रहे हैं आपके साथ, whatever you are experiencing right now in terms of energy or cholesterol, yeah, whatever it is, lethargy, you're not able to sleep in the night, stress levels, everything will get answered in those sessions. And the next one that's coming up is on carbs and dietary fiber. You will understand some amazing things as to why we say what carbs are to be eaten, what should not be eaten, how much, etc. So I think it is time. It is already 10 o'clock. We have been, thanks audience for being patient, and I'm sure that has been very interesting and insightful. Farokh, we can't thank you enough, for your guidance, for your help. You've been mentoring so many of us, including myself. We are, of course, still on the journey of, building a right health, and I'm sure you must be really impatient सोच के कि ये बच्चे क्या कर रहे हैं बच्चे in the sense in terms of why are they not getting healthier. But thank you so much, Farokh, and thank you, Manoj and Jitendra, for actually sharing your journey and your inputs, because that is going to encourage many of us, start. If we have not yet started, restart if we did and forgot, and continue on the journey. Wishing everyone all the very best, because if not health, there is nothing else in the world at all, right? We focus on health span, and take care. Good night. God bless everyone. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Farokh sir.